Hi, Tamara Sten here from A Perfect Seed Cooperative, where we work directly with Indigenous farmers to bring their heritage grains to world markets and also bring healthy food to people who need it, such as all of our folks who are at home. So, with the COVID epidemic, there's been a huge trend for healthy food, plant-based food, immune boosting alternatives, and that's a trend that was starting before COVID and will continue post-COVID. And quinoa is the food that meets those demands. It's a quinoa, it's a superfood. It has proteins, full proteins, antioxidants, omega-3 fatty acids, and it's trending. 2013 was the International Year of the Quinoa. Quinoa consumption grows by 12% every year, and it's a multi-million-dollar market. What we're offering is something unique and different in the quinoa world, which is varieties. So we have royal quinoa that's of a higher quality, higher protein than all other quinoas. And within that quinoa, we also have varieties. And that's what makes this project so exciting, because the varieties gives us really cool ideas and options for cooking. All right, just like the world knows rice varieties, now they're going to know the different quinoa varieties. And that's what we're bringing to you. Okay, and the way that we do it is we work directly with the Bolivian farmers. So they're right there in Bolivia, and they are hand growing and hand planting this quinoa the same way they've done it for thousands of years. They're the ones that actually introduced me to the varieties, because that's how they consume their quinoa. So the market looks at the colors, buys it black, white, and red, but we know that the varieties have distinct properties, and that's how I'm being guided in developing this business. It's hand grown by 31,400 Bolivian families and co-op members, and it's only grown along the shores of the salt flats. Okay, so here's the volcanic rung salt flats, and these soils have really high mineral and salt content, and that's what makes the quinoa so healthy and nutritious. The quinoa grows slowly in 9 months, and it's a certificate of origin, which means that just like champagne grapes, nobody else can produce this quality quinoa anywhere else in the world. It can only come from these vast shores of the salt flats. So here's our hand harvested quinoa in the grains, where it's in the plains, where it's grown in conjunction with the natural landscape on a rotation basis. So there's room for llamas and wild animals along with the quinoa itself. So it's this balance with nature. The product is blessed. It's produced by hand, it's slowly, and it's a much more meaningful way of approaching our food systems. And even so, we're still able to scale this. Okay, we have a robust quinoa economy that we're hooking in with. And so we're working with these producer-owned cooperatives and processing plants. They are part of our board of directors. That's part of our bylaws, is that we're working collaboratively. We're not working for, we're working with. We have export quality, FDA compliant product that's already been sold all around the world for years. So we have over 30,000 tons, 1,300 containers. We have plenty of infrastructure and varieties, and we have recipes. So we are well positioned to really nail it with this new category and this product, which is different than anything else out there before, because we're using Caspina quinoa for sushi and Toledo quinoa for pilaf. And the properties of these quinoas make these recipes amazing. We have our own in-house chef that is creating these recipes custom for us. We're also working with Bolivian folk artist Judith Nina to come up with packaging that really reflects the traditions and heritage of Bolivia and brings the unique qualities of the varieties to life. We're going to be selling this on a 4-tier level, where we're working in bulk with restaurants and food trucks. Huge demand in that area. We'll be selling them 25-pound bags. We'll be working wholesale specialty food shops and meal kits, $158 billion market, 10% annual growth. We'll be giving them 10-ounce boxes. And we'll do our e-commerce online with our own website. And that's an area that's been growing 41% in 2020. We're also working with large corporations such as Kellogg's, Arrowhead Mills, Bob's Red Mill to provide 500-pound pallets and 1,000-pound shipments, or 1-ton shipments of quinoa for them to repackage or use in their own ingredients. So having this multi-level model gives us many places to be able to sell and builds more resilience in our methods. Our competition is meat and rice, meat for protein, rice for its versatility, it's vegan, it's gluten-free. We work with college students. They do a lot of our market research and marketing for us. It lets them work on a concept called live case studies where they're having applied learning in the classroom. We're working in an area where plant-based is trending, 62% increase in this, and people are looking for meat substitutes. So here's our quinoa that can nail that market. All recipes showed that there's trends, right? People want to have cultural heritage eating and experiential eating and nutrient-rich foods and quality and foods that have a social statement and online grocery. And we nail it in every single one of those categories. Here we have our tabbouleh, quinoa negra tabbouleh, which is very nutritious. Okay, we work as a well-oiled machine. So we have radical transparency and democracy. Our board is made up of people from all different sectors, where we have a student member on the board. We have the producer organizers on the board. We invite customers to be on our board, and our board oversees operations. So co-packing and sales happens in the US. Students around the world are able to use this project as a live case study. Our quinoa producers are direct in Bolivia, and then our 5-tier customers are part of the whole process of how we're developing this. So we work together and with. That's important with our cooperative model. We also have a win-win for all. So we're paying higher prices than anyone else in the world for the quinoa. Global prices are about $1,900 a ton. We're paying $3,454. That's our minimum price, and that is a dignified wage. It's higher than fair trade, it's higher than organic, and it's what farmers need to be able to live well in their own natural environment growing their quinoa. It's slow growing, it's slow yield, and this price reflects that need to be able to preserve that. So the way the price works, though, and is still competitive, is because we're doing direct sale. So the industrial quinoa is $6 a pound. Bulk quinoa is $8 a pound. Wholesale is $13.60. Retail is $18.80. We always buy the quinoa at $3.70. That's its price here in the United States after all shipping and taxes are paid for. Okay, if we look at the history of pricing, this is just an important social message. Quinoa was once very valuable. In 2014, the prices dropped, and what we're at is this is the dignified wage. Bolivians are currently not getting a dignified wage, so our product is very important for them. What we've done so far is a lot. So we've done a Kickstarter. We've raised almost $6,000. That was developed by students. We have 5 varieties now that are in stock. It's been imported, ready to go. We're FDA registered, and we have an e-commerce site. Our projections for the future is we're going to be working in our 5-tier model. Mostly industrial is going to be covering a lot of our sales. We can just easily flip that. The wholesale comes in at about $4,500. This is based on selling a container, a 2,000 pound shipment of quinoa in a 1-year period of time. The retail, the online, is going to come in at about $3,600, and the bulk is kind of close to that as well. So that's where our earnings are kind of come in, and these are the categories where we'll be selling in. And here's some energy bars made with puffed quinoa, pisankaya puffed quinoa. Okay, we're also going to scale by reaching out to other native communities, such as the Ojibwe in Minnesota, who have mamunan, which is a wild rice. There's many communities that are positioned just like the Bolivians that are marginalized from the markets, but have amazing, meaningful products that are ready for sale that can easily scale. We're looking at a $3.5 billion industry just in the U.S. Intertribal Agricultural Council. So that would be the next place for growth, where we would use the same model we're using for quinoa, but to help bring other native foods to markets. Our return on investment, we pretty much have as a 68% earnings in average on all of our sales. We have very low operational costs. We're basically just flipping quinoa. So for 3 years, we're going to continue to expand our quinoa model, in our 5 different areas, and expand that globally. And then our big growth spurt here, year 6, is going to be when we start bringing in those other native products and replicating this model again with Mexican vanilla, the wild rice. Okay, so it's an area where there's lots of growth and there's a lot of need for this. We have a very well-developed board here. So I'll put myself up here. So we have myself, I'm the president. Tito Medrano is head of fair trade in all of Bolivia and Peru. Angela Caguella is a She works with the Export Chamber of Development of Bolivian Products, and she also has a community that she works with her family. That's a quinoa growing community. Paulo Falsta does logistics, and he also is an exporter. He has a company, For Life Grains, and Valerie Cox is with me here at Landmark College, and she's our marketing guru. We work with all of these other organizations as well to really bring this product to life, have it be available here on a global level, and benefit the owners of the quinoa, the growers, as well as consumers. So thank you so much. And we look forward to working with you soon. Bye-bye.